I'm David Fleming from Disciples Ignited, where we are focused on Jesus, advancing his kingdom, and preparing his disciples. Now we're going to continue on in our study on the book of Joel, and yesterday we talked about how Joel introduced us into the teaching of the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord, he said, was awesome, it was great, but it was dreadful, it was fearful, but it was ultimately victorious because it was the day of salvation. But Joel also addresses the devastation that the kingdom of Judah had just gone through. They had just had a swarm of locusts descend upon the entire nation that devastated it. Let me read to you what Joel wrote about in Joel chapter 1, verse 4. What the locust swarm has left, the great locusts have eaten. What the great locusts have left, the young locusts have eaten. What the young locusts have left, other locusts have eaten. This shows us that after one group of locusts came down and ate some vegetation, another group of locusts came down and ate some more until a third group came and ate, and then a fourth group, until there was absolutely no vegetation left in the land. Do you realize that locusts swarm at the speed of wind? And they can cover from 100 to 200 kilometers in a single day. A single swarm of locusts can cover up to 1,200 square kilometers and can contain between 40 and 80 million. You heard me right. 40 to 80 million locusts per square kilometer. That is a range of anywhere from 50 to 100 billion locusts in a locust swarm. That represents about 100,000 to 200,000 tons of locusts. A locust can live anywhere from 3 to 6 months, but this is a kicker. There is a 10-fold to 16-fold increase in locust numbers from one generation to the next. But what is so interesting but terrifying is the fact that the Lord wasn't fighting against these locusts. He was the one that sent them. In fact, he was the one that was leading them. Listen to this. In Joel 2, verse 11, Prophet Joel is prophesying here. The Lord thunders at the head of his army. His forces are beyond number, and mighty is the army that obeys his command. The day of the Lord is great. It is dreadful. Who can endure it? And what army is this that Joel is speaking of? It is this army of locusts that the Lord is leading that has devastated the land. And why did the Lord bring this army of locusts into the kingdom of Judah? Because God's people who were called by his name had forsaken him. They had denied him. They were no longer serving him, but they had embraced idols. Y'all, while the Lord is love and merciful and kind, he is not to be trifled with, especially those who have walked with him. We are to walk with him with fear and trembling, but also in the comfort of his love, because we know that as we walk in the light as he is in the light, that we're covered with his blood. But to walk in rebellion, that is a dreadful thing that the kingdom of Judah learned firsthand. We'll talk more about Joel, such an interesting prophet, and what powerful words he wrote. So join me tomorrow.